So first thing is, what is this Ekadashi Tithi? So there is a conversation between Arjun and Krishna, and Arjun is asking Krishna कि ये एकादशी तिथि है क्या? So then Krishna is saying, many years back, millions of years back, all the devatas, they came to me and they were saying कि there is this big demon called Mura demon, and this Mura demon, his father's name is also mentioned. His father's name is Nadi Janga, and this Nadi Janga, his son was Mura demon, and he stayed in the city of Chandravati, and he attacked all the devatas, and he had some power, so all the devatas could not fight with this Mura demon. And Indra, Yama, Chandra, Surya, all these positions were occupied by this one person, Mura. They have come to Lord Krishna and they glorify Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna says, you don't worry, all of you, you go to Chandravati and you prepare for fighting. So all the devatas, they go back, they are ready for fighting. And the Mura demon and all his other friendly demons, they also feel, अरे इनको तो सब भगा दिया था हमने, ये वापस कैसे आए? And then there is a big fight. And in that big fight, this Lord Krishna, he, first of all, he kills all the other demons. Now this Mura demon is there. So Mura demon ko, it seems that he is not able to kill. So then there is a wrestling match, Malla Yuddha. And in that wrestling match, it goes on for 10,000 years. For 10,000 years, there is a wrestling match in which Lord Krishna defeats this Mura demon. And after defeating this Mura demon, because he is also exhausted, so he goes to Badrikashram. And in Badrikashram, there is a very nice cave called Hemavati. So Lord Krishna goes into that cave and he is taking rest in that Hemavati cave. But this Mura demon, although he is already defeated in that wrestling match, but he comes behind Lord Krishna to take revenge. And when he sees that Lord Krishna has gone into that cave, then he also enters that cave. And inside that cave, he sees Lord Krishna is taking rest. So he tries to attack Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna does not know Lord Krishna is taking rest. And in that sleeping condition, in that rest condition, because he is attacking Krishna, so a very nice female personality appears from the body of Lord Krishna. And this female personality kills this Mura demon. And after some time, Lord Krishna, when he gets up from his rest, then he sees that the Mura demon is completely killed and there is this very beautiful female standing there. So then he asks this female, who are you? So she says, I am like your daughter. I appeared from your body and actually you were taking rest. And even though you were taking rest, this Mura demon, he tried to kill you. I could not tolerate it. So I appeared from your body and I killed this Mura demon. So then Lord Krishna says, since you appeared on the 11th day, the Tithi is called Ekadashi. So since you appeared on Ekadashi Tithi, you are also called now Ekadashi. And you are very dear to me. And he says, anybody who pleases you, anybody who follows your Vrat, he will get all spiritual benediction and all material benediction also. So essentially, there are three kinds of people who follow Ekadashi. There are many people who follow Ekadashi. Three categories. First category is they follow Ekadashi for their material benefits. The only benefit they can think of is money, etc., etc. Fame, popularity, health, and all that. Second category of people, the first category of people, they don't even know that they are spirit souls. But their mother told them to do Ekadashi, their father told them to do Ekadashi. So that's why they are doing Ekadashi. Just like, people at some time before in Bombay and Pune, at least, there was a huge Ganpati festival. Other parts of India, it may not be so much. But Bombay, to at least, it's like a huge thing on Ananta Chaturdashi day, whole night. Ganpati is coming to Chowpatty beach to be submerged in the water. So there are so many people who are chanting the holy names. In all these Ganesh pandals, when Aarti happens, Then part of that Ganesh Aarti, Lambodar, Pitambar, Fanivar Bandhana, Karasunda Vakratunda Trinayana, that is how they chant at Ganpati Aarti. And after that Ganpati Aarti, Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Janaki Vallabham Damodaram, they will chant Lord Krishna's name. After that, they will chant Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. 3 times they chant. And then after that, they also chant Kayena Vacha Manasendriyerva Buddhyatmana va Anusruta Swabhava Karoti Yattat Sakalam Parasmi Narayanayati Samarpayami. So all these Ganesh Pandals, they will chant this Achyutam Keshavam, they will chant Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and they chant Kayena Vacha Manasendriyerva. And all these three, they are glorifying Lord Krishna. But none of these people ever understand why am I worshipping Ganesh by chanting Lord Krishna's names. It means Lord Ganesh will be happy only after I chant Lord Krishna's name. So in one day, they chant 3 artis. So 3 into 3 is 9. 9 Mahamantras they chant. In the whole year, multiplied by number of days, they are chanting 9 Mahamantras. Normal ISKCON devotee also, minimum he chants at least 1 or 2 rounds. That is 108 Mahamantras minimum he chants. So they don't know. They are chanting Hare Krishna, but they don't know. They are chanting Karoti Yattat Sakalam Parasmi Narayana iti Samarpayami, but they don't know. Similarly, the first category of people who practice Ekadashi Vrat, they don't know that they are not the body, they are spirit soul. So why are they following Ekadashi? They are following Ekadashi just because somebody told them that if you chant if you do Ekadashi Vrat, then you will get money, you will become famous, and this and that. One point of time, we went to Nath Dwara Yatra. So Nath Dwara is Srinath ji. And I saw so many Gujarati people for Mangalarti, 4:30 in the morning, many Gujarati people were there. And half of them had not even taken bath also. Half of them had directly come from the bed. So, they were sleeping and then 4:20 or something, they get out from the bed and they come for Mangalarti. And then I was asking them that, you have not even taken a bath, so how come you are here? They said, nahi, jo karega Mangala, usko milega Bangla. So all these Gujarati people, they have firm conviction that if you do Mangala Arti of Srinath ji, then you will get a Bangla. So how many people, at least the Gujarati people, who are there, who have not even taken a bath and they are directly coming with their sleeping clothes for Mangala Arti, do they actually understand who is Krishna? Do they actually understand that, this is Mangala Arti? And if half of them are saying, अरे हमको तो बंगला चाहिए, बंगले के लिए हम लोग आए हैं मंगला करने के लिए, is that the mood of Mangala Arti? So, although we may see a huge crowd at Srinath ji, and although we may see a huge crowd at this Ganesh Pandal, and although we may see a huge number of people following Ekadashi Vrat, but it's not so easy. So the first category of people, they don't even know that they're spirit souls. They are basically trying to find enjoyment on the level of the body, and they are maximum in number. So they are following Ekadashi Vrat, but the purpose is some material benefit. The second category of people, they understand that they are not a body, they are spirit soul. But for them, giving importance to the spirit soul is not so important. So what they do is, they are doing Ekadashi for 2 things. They will definitely ask for some material benefits. And, just like sometimes, after a nice prasad, you take some sweet or something. That sweet is in a small amount. So sometimes, after asking all the material benefits, and they ask, by the way, if you think spirituality is also important, and you can also give me some spiritual benefits. That is the second category of people. And the third category of people, they know who Krishna is, they know who they are, and they know what is Sambandha Gyan. And they are just asking Krishna that even atheists are getting a lot of food to eat. And even elephants are getting a lot of food to eat. And ants also get a lot of food to eat. So after chanting of Hare Krishna and reading Bhagavatam and associating with devotees, if I again ask you that, my dear Krishna, please give me food to eat, then I am lower than an ass. Because ass also has some faith on the master. And ass just keeps on working. And he says, शाम को मेरा जो मालिक है वो मुझे घास खाने को दे ही देगा अगर दिन भर मैं काम कर रहा हूँ तो. So if we keep asking for material benefits from Krishna, then we are lower than the act. So the third category of people, they never ever ask any material benefits from Krishna. They just keep saying, my dear Krishna, for so many lifetimes, you kept on giving to me, and I never even said thank you to you. So this lifetime, in the association of pure devotees, especially Srila Prabhupada, I am not going to ask you a single thing. I am just going to give you something. I am going to ask you for opportunities for seva. So there are three kinds of people who are doing Ekadashi Vrat. And at least we should try to come in the third category. So this word upavas is a very nice word. And in Hari Bhakti Vilas, it is mentioned upavrittasya papebhyo. उपवृत्तस्य पापेभ्यो मतलब पाप से दूर जाना है। यस्तु वासो गुणैः सह, और जो अच्छे लोग हैं, सज्जन लोग हैं, उनके सह, यस्तु वासो गुणैः सह, उपवृत्य, पापी लोग से उपवृत्त होना है, और यस्तु वासो गुणैः सह, तो यहाँ का उप हो गया, यहाँ का वास हो गया। उपवास स विज्ञेय सर्व भोग विवर्जितः, तो गलत चीजों से दूर जाना है और अच्छे चीजों के पास जाना है, ये दोनों चीजों को जब एक साथ करते हैं तो उसको बोलते हैं उपवास। So this is the meaning of upavas. And what is the main purpose of Ekadashi? It is mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas. Hari Bhakti Vilas is a book compiled by Srila Sanatan Goswami. And Srila Sanatan Goswami basically, he was an extremely humble person. So after writing the book, he told Gopal Bhatta Goswami, can you help me in editing with this book? Maybe there are some corrections to be done. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami accepted that seva. And when that book was released, Sanatan Goswami told everyone that Gopal Bhatta Goswami wrote this book. So that is Hari Bhakti Vilas. So in that book it is mentioned, Ekadashi Vratam Nama Sarva Kama Falapradam Kartavyam Sarvada Viprair Vishnu Prinana Karanam. What is the main purpose of doing Ekadashi? Vishnu Prinan. The only purpose of doing Ekadashi is to please Vishnu. It is not to get material goals. It is not to go to the heavenly planets. It is not to get power and this and that. Vishnu Prinana Karanam. So that is the only purpose of doing Ekadashi. Then there are 8 things that are capable of not breaking Ekadashi. If you do these 8 things, it is not that you have broken Ekadashi. What are they? They are mentioned in Mahabharat Udyog Parva, and they are quoted in Hari Bhakti Vilas. So the Sanskrit shloka is Ashtaitani Ashtaitanyavrataghani Apo Moolam Palampaya Havir Brahmana Kamya Cha Guror Vachanam Aushadham. So there are 8 things mentioned here. Apa means water. Moolam means roots. Palam means fruit. Paya means milk. Havi means ghee. Brahmana Kamya means obeying the instructions of a Brahman. And Guror Vachanam means following the instruction of a spiritual master. And Aushadham means any medicine. So if you do these 8 things, then they don't break Ekadashi Vrat. It means if you are taking some medicine, and that medicine may or may not contain grain, but because it is medicine, you are not doing it for your sense gratification, you are doing it for your medicine. तो औषधि ले सकते हैं और गुरु महाराज ने जो आज्ञा दी है उसको पालन कर सकते हैं. So there is a very beautiful story from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's life. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur one time came to the ashram and he saw all his brahmacharis who were staying in that ashram. They were lying down on the floor and they were doing aram. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati asked, why you are doing aram? Why you are not distributing books? So they said, because today is Ekadashi day, and Ekadashi we are not supposed to eat anything. So we were feeling famished. एनर्जी हमको थोड़ा कम लग रहा था, तो फिर हम लोग ने सोचा अभी कहाँ जाके बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करेंगे, इसलिए हम लोग सब आराम कर रहे हैं. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said, okay. Then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati went to the kitchen and he cooked nice Bengali khichdi with rice and dal and sabji. And then he went to the ashram and he said, all of you, you please come here. I have prepared with my own hand nice Mahaprasad tasty grain khichdi. And he said, now all of you, you take this khichdi and go out and distribute books. So it is not that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati wanted people to eat grains on Ekadashi. Definitely that's not the point. The point is, if we are running away from our services in the name of Ekadashi, then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati is saying, better to eat, but better is to serve Krishna. So first canto, chapter number 2, text number 6 is Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Radhokshaje Ahaituki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. In that shloka, Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo. So the word dharma there is translated by Srila Prabhupada as occupational duty. And in the purport, Prabhupada says, we have purposefully translated the word dharma as occupational duty. Usually we feel occupational duty is with respect to varna, means occupational duty of a Brahman is to do yajan, yajan, patan, patan, dana, pratigraha. Occupational duty of a Kshatriya is to fight. Occupational duty of a Vaishya is to earn money and to do go raksha and all that. But Prabhupada takes the point, we are not a Brahman, we are not a Kshatriya, we are not a Vaishya, or we are not a Shudra. Who are we? We are spirit souls. So then what is the occupational duty of spirit souls? What is the occupational duty of a small part? The occupational duty of a small part is to serve the whole. The occupational duty of a screw is to work where it fits into the whole machine. So similarly, Prabhupada says, actually dharma is occupational duty, but we are not Brahman, we are not Kshatriya, we are not Vaishya and Shudra, we are spirit souls. So spirit souls' occupational duty is to serve the whole. So our real, our original dharma is to serve Krishna. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was a very revolutionary person. On Ekadashi day, he cooked rice, dal, khichdi and told his disciples, you eat this khichdi, but you go out and distribute books because that is more important than following Ekadashi. So in this shloka it is mentioned, Gurur Vachanam. If your Guru tells you to do something which apparently may be contradicting the principles of Ekadashi, but you should do it. Why? Because Guru Agya Balavan. Guru Agya is more important than anything else. It is Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra. It is actually Krishna speaking through the mouth of the spiritual master. So very important things are mentioned here. And this is about the Ekadashi Vrat. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati in chapter 15 of Adi Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has mentioned something which I am reading as it is. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati says, Sri Mahaprabhu said that if one disregards the vow of Ekadashi, he brings ruination to his life. One should simply respect the grain prasad on the day of Ekadashi and save it for the next day, for the effect of Ekadashi no longer remains on the next day. The pious Vaishnavas are simply satisfied by drinking the nectar of Krishna's holy names on the day of Ekadashi. They do not indulge in any kind of sense gratification, do not speak useless topics, and they abandon all kinds of material enjoyment. Honoring prasad is an eternal activity of the pure Vaishnavas, and they never eat anything that is not first offered to the Lord. The devotees should totally fast on the day of Ekadashi and eat the Lord's remnants only on the next day. In a special case, a Vaishnava may take non-grain remnants of the Lord. Those who are non-Vaishnavas engage in sense gratification day and night on the pretext of honoring Mahaprasad. Such people associate with sinful men, eat grain on Ekadashi, and disrespect the vow of Ekadashi. If you cultivate the limbs of devotional service with respect, then you will attain the mercy of Bhakti Devi. Give up the association of non-devotees and strictly observe the vow of Ekadashi by engaging in chanting the holy names of the Supreme Lord. So basically here, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati is saying, it's very important to follow Ekadashi because one of the 64 limbs of pure devotional service which is mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is to follow Ekadashi. So if you follow Ekadashi, you are practicing pure devotional service. And how do you follow Ekadashi? That on Ekadashi day, you don't eat grains, you don't eat pulses, you don't eat honey, You don't take oil from nuts, and in this way, from the pulses and all, you do this. So sometimes, there is this that fasting should not be done on this day and fasting should be done on that day. So there are two Ekadashis, Smarta Ekadashi and Bhagavat Ekadashi. Bhagavat Ekadashi is also called as Vaishnava Ekadashi. So what is Smarta Ekadashi? Smarta Ekadashi is that Ekadashi. How do they calculate Ekadashi? The Tithi is in the daytime. So the day on which Ekadashi Tithi begins, suppose it is beginning at 9 o'clock at night, or it is beginning at 10 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is. Any day on which the Ekadashi Tithi, according to the moon calendar, if it begins on that day, then that day they say is Ekadashi. And Bhagavat people, Vaishnavas, they don't take the beginning of the Ekadashi Tithi. They say Arunodaya. Arunodaya मतलब सूर्योदय. सूर्योदय के समय पे क्या तिथि थी? So if it is Dashmi and Ekadashi is beginning at 10 o'clock in the morning, then at Arunodaya, at Suryodaya, basically it was Dashami. So because it was Arunodaya Dashmi, Vaishnavas don't fast on that day. But the next day, it will be Ekadashi during Arunodaya, during Suryodaya. So they will fast on Ekadashi when Arunodaya has Ekadashi Tithi. And that's why mostly other people, the rest of the world, they follow Ekadashi on one day, and Vaishnavas, they follow Ekadashi on the next day. Usually in Maharashtra, people have Kala Nirnay calendar. So on Kala Nirnay calendar also, if you see, you will see two tithis. One is Smarta Ekadashi, and then next day they call it as Bhagavat Ekadashi. So we calculate Ekadashi not by the day on which it starts. We calculate Ekadashi by the Arunodaya timing, the Suryodaya timing. So that is why there are two different Ekadashis. Then there is Shuddha Ekadashi. What is Shuddha Ekadashi? This is also quoted in Hari Bhakti Vilas. If the day of Ekadashi starts 96 minutes before the sunrise, then that is Shuddha Ekadashi. And a householder should fast on such an Ekadashi. But even if it is moonrise, sunrise, Arunodaya के समय है, लेकिन कैसा है? 96 minutes before sunrise के पहले है, कम है. मतलब if the tithi or day of Ekadashi begins 1 hour 36 minutes, मतलब 96 minutes before the sunrise, then it is called complete Ekadashi or Shuddha Ekadashi. And if the Ekadashi starts less than 96 minutes before the sunrise, then it should be considered incomplete and contaminated because it is perforated with the previous tithi of Dashami. Therefore, one should give up the following of Ekadashi if it is mixed with the previous tithi at the time of sunrise. So at the time of sunrise, 96 minutes before the sunrise, also if there is Dashami, then it is contaminated Ekadashi, so we should do Ekadashi on the next day. Particularly, the Vaishnava should totally abandon following the vow of such an Ekadashi. The great sage Kanva said, if the day of Ekadashi is mixed with the previous tithi, then one should fast on the next day for Ekadashi and break fast on the following day. This is from Bhavishya Puran. From Skanda Puran, it is mentioned, usually the days begin from the rising of the sun and are complete on the next rising of the sun. But this is not the case with Ekadashi. If an Ekadashi starts 96 minutes before the sunrise, then only it is uncontaminated and complete Ekadashi. So these are some rules regarding Ekadashi. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I'll speak about what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. One day, after visiting the Gundicha temple, Gaur Hari came and sat down in the Jagannath Vallabh garden. It was the day of sacred Ekadashi. The Lord spent the entire day and night chanting the holy names of Krishna, accompanied by many resident devotees like Swarup Damodar Goswami, Ramanand Rai, and Vakreshwar Pandit. So if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the childhood days, one time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was a small child, he went to his mother and he said, I want one promise from you. And his mother said, yes, whatever you say, Gauranga, what do you want? So when he was a small child, he told his mother, from today onwards, you should follow Ekadashi Vrata. So he took that promise from his mother that you have to follow Ekadashi Vrata, and that's how Shachi Mata started following Ekadashi Vrata. So here Lord Chaitanya is saying, the Lord said, today all of you should attentively chant the holy names of Krishna and give up eating and sleeping. Some of you should chant the holy names a prescribed number of rounds. Some of you should offer obeisances, and some of you should discuss the topics of Krishna and Balaram. Stay anywhere and constantly chant the name of Govinda and always be intoxicated with love of God. At that time, Gopinath, along with Sarvam Bhattacharya, brought prasad from Gundicha temple. They placed rice, various types of vegetables, sweets, sweet rice, yogurt, and curd before Mahaprabhu. So it is Ekadashi Tithi, and all of them have brought Jagannath Mahaprasad. So now the question is, there is one rule about Jagannath Mahaprasad. Prapti Matrena Bhoktavyam. Prapti Matrena Bhoktavyam means as soon as Jagannath Prasad is kept in front of your eyes, you should immediately honor it and put it on your tongue. So now the point is mentioned, this kind of Jagannath Mahaprasad is brought in front of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By the order of the Lord, everyone offered obeisances and repeatedly glorified the Mahaprasad. Then they spent the entire day and night chanting the holy names of the Lord without any offense. According to the instruction of the Lord, they took bath early in the morning on the day of Dwadashi and broke the Ekadashi fast with Mahaprasad. So although it was Jagannath Mahaprasad, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows very well what is the point of Jagannath Mahaprasad, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered obeisances to the Mahaprasad and glorified the Mahaprasad, but did not taste the Mahaprasad. And next day, Dwadashi day, he ate the Mahaprasad. Thereafter, the devotees folded their hands and requested the Lord as follows. O Lord, we know that the vow of Ekadashi is the crest jewel among all the vows. We strictly observe this vow by giving up eating and sleeping. But it is recommended that a grain prasad of Jagannath, which is always respected at Jagannath Puri, should be honored immediately upon receiving it. Therefore, O Lord, we are in a great dilemma and also frightened. Please instruct us clearly in this regard. We know that your orders are the statements of the Vedas and they are followed even by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. The Lord replied, observing Ekadashi is one of the limbs of devotional service. If one does not follow Ekadashi, his spiritual life will be spoiled. One should simply respect the prasad on the day of Ekadashi and eat them on the next day. On the day of Ekadashi, the pious Vaishnavas should become satisfied by drinking the nectar of Krishna's holy name. They do not indulge in any kind of material enjoyments and do not speak any useless words. The pure Vaishnavas only honor foodstuffs that have already been offered to the Lord and do not eat any unoffered foodstuff. तो ये जो बोलते हैं लोग, अरे जगन्नाथ जी का महाप्रसाद जैसे ही दिखता है मुंह में रखना चाहिए, वो किसको बोल रहे हैं? जो जिंदगी में कभी महाप्रसाद नहीं खाते हैं, हमेशा अनऑफर्ड खाते हैं, तो उनके लिए बोलते हैं अरे आपके सामने भगवान ने अपनी कृपा भेजी है, उसको मुंह में डालिए तुरंत। लेकिन वैष्णव जो दिन भर, साल भर, महीना भर, क्षण क्षण केवल महाप्रसाद ही खाते हैं, उनके लिए वो रूल अप्लाई नहीं होता. So we should understand to whom what is spoken. जिसने कभी महाप्रसाद नहीं खाया है उसके लिए बोल रहे हैं महाप्रसाद आए तुरंत मुंह में डालो, लेकिन जो हर रोज ऑफरिंग करके ही खाता है उसके लिए बोला है आप तो हमेशा महाप्रसाद ही खाते हैं. तो अगर एकादशी के दिन आपने शुद्ध भक्ति पालन की और महाप्रसाद को आपने नमस्कार किया, उसका तिरस्कार नहीं किया और आपने नमस्कार करके उसकी गुणगान किया, अरे वाह जय हो महाप्रसाद की, बहुत अच्छा है महाप्रसाद लेकिन कल लेंगे, तो दैट इज द राइट मूड अकॉर्डिंग टू श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु. The pure Vaishnavas only honor foodstuffs that have already been offered to the Lord and do not eat any unoffered foodstuff. On the day of sacred Ekadashi, they fast totally and they break their fast by eating prasad on the next day. Only in special circumstances do Vaishnavas accept non-grain foodstuff on the day of Ekadashi. Those who are non-devotees enjoy various foodstuffs day and night on the pretext of eating prasad. Such people associate with sinful persons and eat grains on the day of Ekadashi. Always cultivate the limbs of devotional service and thereby respect Bhakti Devi, and you will obtain her bhakti. Give up the association of non-devotees and observe the vow of Ekadashi. Consider carefully that actually there is no contradiction between honoring prasad and observing Ekadashi. कैसे? You are not accepting prasad and you are observing Ekadashi. कैसे contradiction नहीं है? Know for certain that if a person accepts one limb and envies another limb, he is certainly a fool. आप में से किसी के हाथ को अगर मैं नमस्कार करूं और आपके पैर को मैं लात मारूं तो आप बोलेंगे ये क्या गलत बात है. बोले नो, आई एम रिस्पेक्टिंग द हैंड्स एंड आई एम किकिंग द लेग्स. नो, बट both limbs belong to the same person. तो प्रसाद स्वीकार करना और एकादशी करना दोनों भक्ति देवी के अंग हैं. भक्ति देवी के एक अंग को हम पालन कर रहे हैं और एक अंग को ठुकरा रहे, तो ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. One should strictly follow a particular limb of devotional service according to time, place and circumstance. The son of Nanda Maharaj is the lord of all the limbs. Therefore, please follow that by which he becomes pleased. हम भक्ति कर रहे हैं अपनी प्रसन्नता के लिए नहीं, भगवान की प्रसन्नता के लिए कर रहे हैं. One must give up eating and sleeping on the day of Ekadashi and honor prasad only on the next day. After hearing these words of Lord, all the Vaishnavas happily chanted the name Govinda and offered the respectful obeisances to him. All the devotees of Orissa and Bengal, headed by Swarup Damodar and Ramanand Rai, became jubilant. So this is the story from Sriman Mahaprabhu's life. Now, there is something from Brahma Vaivarta Puran. And from Brahma Vaivarta Puran, there is something called as Mahadvadashi. So what is this Mahadvadashi? That I'll tell you. Sri Suta Goswami said, O learned Brahman, Unmilini, Vyanjuli, Trisprisha, Pakshavardhini, Jaya, Vijaya, Jayanti, and Papanashini are the 8 Mahadvadashis. They are most auspicious and destroy all one's sinful reactions. Among these 8 Mahadvadashis, the first 4 occur according to the Tithi or day, and the later 4 occur according to Nakshatra or star. Nevertheless, all of them destroy heaps of sinful reactions. अभी पहले 4 क्या है वो बताता हूँ. If an Ekadashi extends on the day of Dwadashi, so first we discussed when the Dashami extends on the day of Ekadashi, then that Ekadashi is contaminated. So now this is Mahadwadashi. If an Ekadashi extends on the day of Dwadashi, but the day of Dwadashi does not extend into the Trayodashi, then that Dwadashi is called Unmilini Mahadwadashi. And if such a Mahadwadashi is there, then we should fast on Mahadvadashi. We should not fast on Ekadashi. Fasting on that Dwadashi is more important than fasting on Ekadashi. Second point, if an Ekadashi does not extend to the day of Dwadashi, but the day of Dwadashi extends into the day of Trayodashi, then it is called Vyanjuli Mahadvadashi, and it counteracts unlimited sin. Third point, if an Ekadashi extends up to the sunrise on the day of Dwadashi, and also the Dwadashi extends up to the sunrise of Trayodashi, then it is called Trisprisha Mahadvashi. Trisprisha मतलब 3 तिथि एक साथ आ गई. Ekadashi is touching Dwadashi and Dwadashi is touching Trayodashi. So Trisprisha Mahadvashi. This Mahadvadashi is extremely dear to Lord Hari. But ये जब भी हो रहा है तभी अगर दशमी तिथि is also touching Ekadashi tithi, then it should not be celebrated as Trisprisha. Then it becomes Chatusprisha. So Chatusprisha गलत है. Only Ekadashi should touch Dwadashi and Dwadashi should touch Trayodashi. But Dashami should not touch Ekadashi. Then it is Trisprisha Mahadvadashi. Now, if Amavasya or Purnima extends into the Pratipada, the next day, then the Dwadashi that comes before such an Amavasya or such a Purnima is called as Pakshavardhini Mahadwadashi. And instead of observing a fast on Ekadashi, we should fast on that Pakshavardhini Mahadwadashi. So ये जो 4 Mahadwadashi है, these are according to Tithi. Now there are 4 Mahadwadashis according to Nakshatra. It is stated in the Brahma Puran, in the conversation between sage Vasishtha and King Mandhata, that if the Nakshatra called Punarvasu touches the day of Dwadashi of the Shukla Paksha, तो शुक्ल पक्ष और कृष्ण पक्ष दोनों में एक एक द्वादशी रहती है। तो शुक्ल पक्ष की जो द्वादशी है उसमें अगर पुनर्वसु नक्षत्र आ गया, then it is called Jaya Mahadwadashi, and this Mahadwadashi is most auspicious amongst all the Tithis. Second point, it is written in Vishnu Dharmottar that when Shravana Nakshatra co-joins with the Dwadashi of Shukla Paksha, it is called Vijaya Mahadwadashi. Since Sri Vamandev appeared during Shravana Nakshatra, this Mahadwadashi is unlimitedly glorious. Forever, if such a Mahadwadashi occurs on a Wednesday in the month of August, then its glories are indescribable. On that day, one should particularly discuss the topics of Sri Vaman Dev. Now, third, if a Dwadashi of Shukla Paksha is co-joined with Rohini Nakshatra, then it is the all auspicious Jayanti Mahadwadashi. रोहिणी नक्षत्र का क्या स्पेशलिटी है, कोई बताएगा क्या मुझे? रोहिणी नक्षत्र का फेमस पॉइंट क्या है? Can you unmute and tell me somebody? Rohini Nakshatra, what is so special about Rohini Nakshatra? Okay, Lord Krishna, when he appeared, then it was Rohini Nakshatra, and Prabhupada writes in the purport that this Rohini Nakshatra is directly controlled by Lord Brahma. So Rohini Nakshatra is the most auspicious Nakshatra, and Lord Krishna appeared in the prison cell of Vasudeva and Devaki when it was Rohini Nakshatra. So here it is mentioned, if Dwadashi of Shukla Paksha is co-joined with Rohini Nakshatra, then it is all auspicious Jayanti Mahadwadashi. It destroys all one's sinful reactions. Since Lord Krishna appeared during Rohini Nakshatra, this Jayanti Mahadwadashi is extremely glorious. On this day, one should discuss the pastimes of Lord Krishna's birth. Now, fourth point. It is stated in the Brahma Puran that if a Dwadashi of the Shukla Paksha is co-joined with Pushya Nakshatra, then it is called Papa Nashini Mahadwadashi. By observing a fast on this day, one can obtain the result of observing 1000 Ekadashis. If this Papanashini Mahadwadashi occurs in the month of March, then it is awarding unlimited piety. So, although various results of these Mahadwadashis are described in the scriptures, an intelligent pure devotee should totally give up the desire for results that aim at fulfilling their own sense gratification and aspire for pure devotional service, which aims at gratifying Krishna's senses. He should consider love of God as the supreme goal of life. Whenever these 8 Mahadwadashis arrive, the pure devotees should protect the prestige of Mahadwadashi, even if they have to give up the previous Ekadashi. By observing a Mahadwadashi, the observance of Ekadashi is automatically completed, and Lord Hari will also be greatly pleased. And then another story is mentioned that in South India there was a kingdom called Ushinar, and in the Ushinar kingdom at one point of time there was a great famine. पानी ही नहीं हुआ उधर. There was no rainfall for 10 years. And there were cowherd men and cowherd women, and there was a cowherd community. But because there was no grass, there was no rain for 10 years, so they had to move from there. So they heard there is a place called Vraj, and in that place of Vraj, the king is Nanda Maharaj, and the prince is called Krishna, and they are also cowherds. So this entire cowherd community from Ushinar province in South India, they shifted to North India. And in that community, many girls were born, and those girls were very beautiful. So actually, they were those girls who were blessed by Lord Ramchandra that you cannot marry me this time, but next time when I come as Krishna, then you can marry me. So all these girls of this cowherd community from Ushinar community, they went to Radharani and they said, Radhe, you are the only one who has pleased Krishna, and you know the art of pleasing Krishna. So you please tell us, what should we do so that Krishna will be pleased on us? So that time Radharani said, Ekadashi first appeared from the body of Lord Vishnu during the Krishna Paksha in the month of November, December. in order to kill the demon Mura. This exalted Ekadashi appears in every month in different forms. For your benefit, I am describing their names. Utpanna. So Utpanna Ekadashi is the day on which Ekadashi was born. That is the first Ekadashi. Second Ekadashi is called Mokshada Ekadashi. What is Mokshada Ekadashi famous for? Anybody knows? You can unmute and tell me.
Lord Krishna.
You got muted.
Prabhuji, Lord Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield of Kurukshetra on Mokshada Ekadashi.
Perfect. So Mokshada Ekadashi is also Gita Jayanti. So first Ekadashi is Utpanna, second is Mokshada, third is Safala, third is Putrada. Putrada literally means Putra dene wali. So sometimes when couples don't have male child, then they fast on Putrada Ekadashi and they get a male child. Shattila Ekadashi, Jaya Ekadashi, Vijaya Ekadashi, Amalaki Ekadashi, Papa Mochani Ekadashi, Kamada Ekadashi, Varuthini Ekadashi, Mohini Ekadashi, Apara Ekadashi, Nirjala Ekadashi, Yogini Ekadashi, Deva Shayani Ekadashi, Kamini Ekadashi, Pavitra Ekadashi, Aja Ekadashi, Padma Ekadashi, Indira Ekadashi, Pashan Kusha Ekadashi, Rama Ekadashi, and Prabodhini Ekadashi. These are these 24 Ekadashis that occur during one complete year. Apart from them, there are two more Ekadashis, namely Padmini Ekadashi and Parama Ekadashi, which occur during the extra month in a leap year, Purushottam Maas. Anyone who chants the names of these 26 Ekadashis obtains the result of observing the vow of Dwadashi for the entire year. And then Radharani told these Gopikas about the rules and regulations of Ekadashi. And it is mentioned they heard these rules and regulations. And then after, at the end of the story, it is mentioned, Narad Muni concluded, after hearing this description from Sri Radha, the gopis properly observed the Ekadashi in order to obtain the favor of Krishna. As a result of their observing Ekadashi, Lord Hari became pleased with them and performed Rasa dance with them on the full moon night in the month of Agrahayad or November. So basically, they are Kartik. So Lord Krishna performed Ras Leela with these gopis because they performed Ekadashi Vrat nicely. So this is about Ekadashi. So how do we respect Ekadashi? By not eating grains on Ekadashi, even if it is Vishnu Mahaprasad. And then I also spoke about Mahadwadashi. So I was checking the calendar, 10th of September, just hold on. I was checking for this Mahadwadashi and all that. So 10th of September was actually Ekadashi Tithi. Because if you see, 7th was Ashtami, Janmashtami. 7th of September was Ashtami. 8th of September was Navami. 9th of September was Dashami. And 10th of September was Ekadashi. But we did our fasting on 11th of September, which is actually Dwadashi. But this Dwadashi Tithi was Pakshavardhini Mahadwadashi. Pakshavardhini Mahadwadashi, according to the discussion that we had, was that if the Amavasya or the Purnima extends into the Pratipada, then the Dwadashi before that is called Pakshavardhini Mahadwadashi. And that's why we fasted from another Ekadashi, not on Ekadashi day, but we fasted on 11th. So it's very interesting. 7th was Ashtami, but we did our fasting on 11th because it was Pakshavardhini Mahadwadashi. So in this way, by fasting simply from grains, simply by having simple food stuff on that day, we can earn the grace of Lord Krishna. And that's why Ekadashi, just like Som Vasar, Mangal Vasar, Budh Vasar. तो सोम ग्रह है, उस पे वो दिन है सोमवार, मंगलवार, बुधवार, गुरुवार, शुक्रवार, बृहस्पतिवार बोलते हैं गुरुवार को कभी कभी, शुक्र, शनि एंड रवि. So in that way, Ekadashi is called Hari Vasa. That day is not controlled by Soma Graha, Mangal Graha. That is controlled by Lord Vishnu, Hari. So Ekadashi is directly pleasing to Lord Vishnu, Lord Hari, and we should fast. Vaishnava should fast on that day. This is the whole point behind Ekadashi. Okay, so from my side, I'm done. If anybody has some comments, questions, appreciation, criticism, then you can unmute and speak.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Buddy, for so much elaborate explanation of Ekadashi. We never thought of
I was
so much.
forced to study nicely because all of you are great scholars, and Raj Prabhu wrote this long message that Lord Nanda Dulal Prabhu has lovingly agreed and all that. So I did not have I had to study.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I have one doubt.
Yes.
Prabhuji, if somebody does the fasting on the day of Ekadashi also and on the day of Dwadashi also, so
Yeah.
by Shastric instructions, is it right? Is it okay or is it wrong?
Yeah. Very nice. It was mentioned that why do we follow Ekadashi? Because Ekadashi is dear to Krishna, right? In the 16th chapter of the Gita, at one place, Lord Krishna mentions those who do whimsical tapasya, they trouble the super soul in the heart. You have time for me to check out the shloka number?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Great. I know all of you are very nice devotees. You will give me that time to check out. Okay. Yeah, so this is 16.18. खोलेंगे क्या?
Bhagavad Gita, na Prabhuji?
This was a very interesting question.
हाँ प्रभुजी ओपन किया प्रभुजी.
Yeah. So, if you check out 16.18, then it is mentioned, bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others and blaspheme against the real religion. Just hold on. Or bhi hai, where he mentions that they trouble. Hold on. Yeah, you know what? This is 17.5 and 6. Yeah, I was thinking ये directly बोला है ऐसे. खोलेंगे 17.5 and 6. खोला किसी ने?
हाँ प्रभुजी
Yes,
खोला.
yes.
So 17.5. Gauranga, somebody can.
Prabhuji, those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the scriptures, performing them out of pride and egoism, who are impelled by lust and attachment, who are foolish, and who torture the material elements of the body as well as the super soul dwelling within, are to be known as demons.
So it's very interesting. First line says those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the scriptures. And second point is who are foolish and who torture the material elements of the body as well as the super soul dwelling within. What does it mean?
Paramatma.
Paramatma is also not happy.
Yeah, so if you take a Sanskrit, उसके ऊपर संस्कृत है, माम चैवांतः शरीरस्थम लिखा है देखो.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So if you check the word-to-word translation, Mam is me, Cha is also, ever certainly, Anta is within, Sharirastham is situated in the body. भगवान बोल रहे हैं, the Paramatma is situated in that person's body, but by doing whimsical tapasya, this person is torturing the super soul in the heart. So that's why it's very nicely mentioned. You know who is a Nastic? According to modern terminology, atheist or Nastic means one who does not believe in God. But according to the Vedic scriptures, it is not belief in God, it is belief in the Vedas. As per Vedic understanding, Nastic is not somebody who does not believe in God, is somebody who does not believe in the Vedas. You know why? Because outside the definition and the explanation of the Vedas, the concept of God is also a very selfish person. The concept of God outside the Vedas is also a very small-minded, mean-minded, narrow-minded God. So if somebody says, I believe in God, but I don't believe in the Vedas, the God that he believes in is far away from the broad-minded, forgiving, and always encouraging God that is mentioned in the Vedic scriptures. It's very interesting. So that's why here it is mentioned that when we do tapasya not recommended in the scriptures, it is tapasya, but it is not recommended in the scriptures, then it says, oh, Bhagwan जो है हृदय में उनको भी तकलीफ होती है. So that's why Ekadashi is mentioned, and then in these 8 Mahadvadashis were mentioned. So on those days, automatically, as I mentioned, 7th was Ashtami, but we did Ekadashi fasting on 11th. So when it is recommended in the scriptures because of certain rules, then we should do, otherwise we should not do. On Dwadashi, at least that Paran time is there. That Paran time is when the Ekadashi Tithi ends. So then, we should actually take some grains and we should complete that fast. We should finish off the Ekadashi fast. And then the rest of the day, if you want to fast, because of some other health reasons or something, you should do it. But it is not Dwadashi fasting. It is just bodily fasting. It is not scriptural. But yes, Ekadashi extends into Dwadashi, then it is a Mahadwadashi, then you do Mahadwadashi. So I really found it interesting that Ravan did a lot of tapasya, Hiranyakashipu did a lot of tapasya, but that tapasya was not mentioned in the scriptures. So then they did not get any spiritual benefit out of it. And that's how it is. Yes.
Prabhuji, one more thing about Paran timing. Paran timing.
Yeah.
Somebody asked in the group. So there are certain tithis when Paran timings is early in the morning. So what exactly the significance of that particular time period when one should do the fast?
Yeah. So if the Ekadashi ends, if the Ekadashi time period ends, it means Dwadashi has started. So then we have to break the fast in Dwadashi. That is how we respect the Dwadashi. For example, I just give you this logic. Other than Ekadashi, how do we respect any other day? All days except Ekadashi, we respect by honoring Vishnu Prasad on that day. So Dashami also, how do we respect Dashami? On Dashami, we take Vishnu Prasad and respect Dashami. How do we respect Dwadashi? By accepting Vishnu Prasad, we respect Dwadashi. How do we respect Ekadashi? By not taking Vishnu Prasad, by taking non-grain Prasad only, but it is non-grain. We respect Ekadashi. So Ekadashi तो खत्म हो गई. एकादशी को तो रिस्पेक्ट कर दिया आपने. अभी द्वादशी शुरू हो गई है, तो अब द्वादशी को क्यों डिसरिस्पेक्ट कर रहे हैं? एकादशी का रिस्पेक्ट हो गया, एकादशी की तिथि खत्म हो गई. अभी द्वादशी को रिस्पेक्ट क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं आप? तो द्वादशी को रिस्पेक्ट करने के लिए आप ग्रेन्स खाइए. तो अभी उसका जो समय है वो है कि इट इज देयर इज सम मैथमेटिकल कैलकुलेशन ऑफ दंडास. द टाइम इज कैलकुलेटेड इन अ डिफरेंट वे ना. मुहूर्त, इट्स नॉट seconds, minutes and days में count नहीं होता है. Vedic time is pala, danda, like that. There are different units of measurement. So the first part of any day is the day when that day starts, that tithi starts. So let's say the first 6 dandas is the beginning of that tithi. So द्वादशी शुरू हो गई है. अभी द्वादशी शुरू होके भी बहुत समय हो गया है, लेकिन आपने द्वादशी को रिस्पेक्ट ही नहीं किया. आई एम गिविंग यू एग्जांपल ऑफ माय ओन. इट इज नॉट फ्रॉम द शास्त्र. लेट्स से somebody comes to your home, so you will welcome him at the gate or you will welcome him, let him come, let him sit, पानी पीनी सब पिया. 2 घंटे बाद आप बोलेंगे अरे थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग टू माय होम. द टाइम हैज गॉन. तो एक आगमन जब होता है तभी वेलकम करना है. तो द्वादशी जब शुरू हुई है उसके पहले 6 झंडास रहते हैं, दैट इज लाइक द वेलकमिंग पार्ट ऑफ द तिथि। तो उसी समय यू हैव टू ऑनर द तिथि। जैसे व्हेन ए पर्सन कम्स टू योर होम यू ऑनर हिम एट द गेट, यू डोंट ऑनर हिम 2 hours आफ्टर ही हैज कम। So whether it is Dashami, whether it is Panchami, whether it is Dwadashi, we honor by taking Vishnu Mahaprasad. Only Ekadashi we honor by taking non-grain. तो द्वादशी शुरू हो गई है तो द्वादशी को ऑनर करना है, और शुरुआत का इतना जो समय है उसी में ऑनर करना है, ऐसा नहीं कि 2 घंटे बाद ऑनर कर रहे हैं द्वादशी की।
Got it,
ओके,
Prabhuji.
थैंक यू राजेंद्र फॉर आस्किंग।
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna, Prabhu.
या
Hare
शामनी
Krishna.
मैम आस्किंग।
Prabhuji, I have 2 questions. One is like you said about penances and austerities not recommended in Shastras. Like I want to give example of one that is people who do Dandavati Parikrama to all this Govardhan Parikrama. Is that recommended in the Shastras? Is one question. And second question is while doing Parayan, if we are doing normal Ekadashi like with eating this fruits and vagar, next day we should honor Dwadashi by eating some grains. And if you are following Nirjala Ekadashi, then next day is it compulsory? It should be followed by taking grains or just by taking water? We have observed the Dwadashi as well.
Yeah, very nice question. First question is about the Dandavati Parikrama. Dandavati Parikrama, what is the mood of Dandavati Parikrama? If the Dandavati Parikrama is just physical austerity, then Govardhan is not pleased by physical austerity. But if it is an offering of love, see, I can tell you, when you see some senior Vaishnavas, you want to offer obeisances not because it is a ritual. You want to offer obeisances to some senior devotee out of love for that person, because you have genuine respect in your heart for that person. There might be some Vaishnavas in your life for whom you don't want to offer obeisances, but then everyone else is offering obeisances, so you feel अभी मैं नहीं मारूंगा तो मेरे को पूछेंगे लोग क्या तुमने दंडवत क्यों नहीं किया करके। So even when people are offering namaskars to ordinary Vaishnavas, there are different moods. One is out of compulsion, one is out of social etiquette, and one is out of genuine respect in the heart. Is it not? So Govardhan के लिए भी somebody may be doing Dandavat Parikrama to Govardhan just to set a record and to tell people in his village 6 महीने लगे मुझे दंडवत परिक्रमा करने के लिए गोवर्धन जी की। बट वो दंडवत परिक्रमा करने के समय मन में भावना क्या थी? Was it me centered consciousness or was it Govardhan centered consciousness? Is it to attract people's attention to me, or is it out of actual genuine love and respect in the heart, seeing Govardhan as somebody who is very dear to Krishna? That is why you offered obeisances. Yeah. So if you are offering love to Krishna, that is the highest purpose of the Vedas. To offer your heart love to Krishna, to offer your heart love to Radharani, to offer Dandavat Parikrama to Krishna, to offer Dandavat Parikrama to Radha Kund, to offer Dandavat Parikrama to Govardhan. This is the highest purpose of life, but not with a aim to show off your physical skills. The intention is to offer your gratitude to Govardhan. How is Govardhan called Haridas Varya? The best of all the servants of Krishna. When it is summer season, then the caves of Govardhan offer cool weather to Krishna. When it is cold season, then the caves of Govardhan offer warmth to Krishna. There is very nice water flowing on Govardhan for Krishna. Very nice grass on Govardhan for the cows of Krishna. So Haridas Varya, Govardhan, he knows exactly how to please Krishna. So if we take blessings of Govardhan, then we can also please Krishna. So what is the mood when you are doing Dandavat Parikrama to Govardhan? That's very important. Right? So if the mood is right, then we should offer Dandavat Parikrama to Govardhan. But if the mood is not right, then that's not the right way of doing Parikrama. Who was the first person to do Parikrama of Govardhan? Anybody knows?
Krishna with all the Brajvasis.
Yeah, Krishna did Parikrama of Govardhan. Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, Balram ji, Radha Rani, all of them are doing Parikrama to Govardhan. But Yeah, but they were not trying to impress somebody. They were singing. They were singing, dancing, chanting. They were having fun. They were happy. They were not thinking, ये गोवर्धन इतना बड़ा क्यों बनाया भगवान ने, ये इतना लंबा क्यों है, ये 6 किलोमीटर का क्यों नहीं है गोवर्धन, 22 किलोमीटर का क्यों है. If this is the mood and we are constantly looking at अरे कब खत्म होगा ये मानसी गंगा, कब आएगी, इतनी दूर क्यों है मानसी गंगा, ऐसा करके अगर गोवर्धन परिक्रमा है, बेटर टू स्टे एट होम एंड चैंट एक्स्ट्रा राउंड्स, राइट. So the Kali Yuga is a very interesting time. First canto of the Bhagavatam mentions Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya hi Upadrita Kalena Prayena Alpayusha Sabhya Kala Vasmin Yuge Jana Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya hi Upadrita. So the word Manda means lazy. So Shukdev Goswami, first canto Suta Goswami is mentioning that Kali Yuga people are very lazy. For what? अरे बॉम्बे में देखो 7 बजे उठ के घर से बाहर निकलते हैं, रात को 10 बजे घर पे पहुंचते हैं, और हमारे सूत गोस्वामी बोले लेजी हैं करके. लोग कौन से लेजी है? लेजी फॉर स्पिरिचुअलिटी, लेजी फॉर कृष्णा कॉन्शियस, नॉट फॉर गोइंग टू फिल्म एंड नॉट फॉर माउंटेनियरिंग एंड ट्रेकिंग एंड ऑल दैट. तो ये सब करने के लिए बहुत उत्साही है, लेकिन मंदिर की मंगल आरती के लिए अरे बाप रे प्रभु जी ऐसा मत करो, इतना बड़ा अन्याय मत करो आप, राइट. तो इफ यू सी द होली प्लेसेस including Vrindavan, including Ayodhya, including Dwarka, including Jagannath Puri, all the holy places are full. There is no place to get a lodge. There is no place to get any hotel. So now the question to all of you is, Suta Goswami 5,000 years back in the Bhagavatam is saying, Kali Yuga people are super lazy for spirituality. And our eyes are telling us that all the holy places are full. If you go to Vrindavan, on the spot, you will not get anything except Vrindavan railway station. So now the question to all of you is, what is happening? Suta Goswami is saying Kali Yuga people are very lazy. And our eyes are saying that all the holy places are full. So how to understand? Who is lying? Who is false? Who is wrong?
Sutta Goswami ji
Of
is
course,
correct.
Prabhuji, Sud Goswami is correct.
Ah,
And the reason, personally, I feel people are coming with a different mood. As you said rightly, one is just doing the Govardhan Parikrama, but he's thinking that when it will end for material benefits or for some other austerities. Very few people who come in Parampara, they actually go to different holy places to get Lord Krishna's prem or mercy, or to get with this opportunity that we should do some service over there. Many people's mood in Dhama is that I should go, and by taking some darshan, I will get some material benefits. So that mood will come only through parampara with proper guidance.
yeah. So this is perfect answer. That most people, they go to holy places not for serving Krishna, but they feel that when we go to holy places, then we can ask something from Krishna. So mostly the desire is to get more. अरे घर में हमारे जो कृष्णा है, उनसे 2 चीजें मांग सकते हैं, लेकिन कृष्णा के घर में जब जाएंगे वृंदावन में तो 20 चीजें मांग सकते हैं. So all the holy places are full, jam packed, भीड़ ही भीड़ है. But Suta Goswami cannot be wrong, the Bhagavatam cannot be wrong. So the point is, most of the people who are going, there is something called the spiritual tourism. तो गोवा ऊटी जाने से अच्छा चलो वृंदावन जाते हैं, बट द मूड इज सेम लाइक गोवा एंड ऊटी ओनली. वहां भी जाके हम लोग वही सब चीजें करते हैं जो ऊटी दार्जिलिंग में करते हैं. दैट्स नॉट द पर्पस ऑफ गोइंग टू वृंदावन. द पर्पस ऑफ गोइंग टू वृंदावन इज यू आर गोइंग टू कृष्णा's होम. We have to go in extremely pure consciousness, and we have to be extremely careful with the Vrajavasis there, and we have to extremely be careful with every single tree in Vrindavan, and with every single grain of dust in Vrindavan. Every single grain of dust of Vrindavan is more valuable than all the wealth of all the Vaikunthas, because that grain of dust has been touched by the feet of Krishna. And who is Krishna? Krishna is the source of all incarnations. He is the source of Vaman. He is the source of Narsimha. He is the source of all the other incarnations. So that Param Purushottam Bhagavan Krishna. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking to Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami. That time he says in one Brahmand, how many planets there are? The scientists cannot measure. So all the Brahmandas together is the material world. And all the Brahmandas, one Brahmand contains unlimited number of planets, and there are unlimited Brahmandas, and all the Brahmandas put together cannot be equal to one Vaikuntha planet. And there are unlimited Vaikuntha planets. And all the unlimited Vaikuntha planets put together cannot equal one Golok Vrindavan. So Golok Vrindavan is huge. So can you imagine how fortunate is to go to this Bhuma Vrindavan near Mathura, which is non-different from Golok Vrindavan. So that Golok Vrindavan, if we enter with material means, many people go to Radha Kund and drink that water for material means. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said, if you go to Radha Kund with material desires, it is no longer Radha Kund for you, it is Narak Kund for you. By drinking Radha Kund water for material benedictions, you will straight go to Narak. It's not Radha Kund, it is Narak Kund for you. So it's extremely dangerous to go to Vrindavan without the proper consciousness. So coming back to the original point, what matters is the consciousness. How do we approach the dham? What do we do in the dham? What is the mood in the dham? How do we deal with the dham? So that was the first question. Second question Shamni Prabhu said is, if we take non-grain, means solid, then we can complete Ekadashi on Dwadashi day by eating grain. But if we do Nirjala Ekadashi, then how should we do it? So you should take Charanamrit, you should not take water. You take water that has bathed the deity. भगवान के शरीर को या भगवान के चरणों को जो पानी धोया है उसको बोलते हैं चरणामृत. So how do you break a Nirjala Ekadashi? You don't have to take grains to break Nirjala Ekadashi. If you have done Nirjala Ekadashi, then you take Charanamrit. And you take Charanamrit, the Charanamrit completes the Ekadashi, and after some time you can eat grain. Okay, Shamni Mai Prabhu.
दिखाई करो.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I have one or two questions. Like how we should take care of Tulsi ji on Ekadashi day. Should we water Tulsi ji or should we not water Tulsi ji? And another question is something like here we should not water Tulsi ji on Sundays. And third question is how should we do Tulsi chain for bhoga offering? Can we use cutter or simply by hand we should pluck the Tulsi flower? Mostly my questions are related to Tulsi care, Tulsi plant.
Yeah, so before we go to Tulsi questions, I saw Mayank wanted to ask something. Mayank Prabhuji, you wanted to ask something? आप muted हैं. You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, Prabhuji, one of my question has been asked by Shamli Mai Prabhuji. Second, I had this query that the parent time which we get, sometime it is for 2-3 minutes, sometime it is for hours. So how does it change? It depends when the Ekadashi and when the Dwadashi starts.
Yeah, beginning जो है, beginning is definitely beginning of Dwadashi. Parent timing का जो beginning है, sometimes it is roughly 6:30 के आसपास होता है. So 6:30 to 10:30, 6:30 to 7:30 in the morning, whatever it is. But it roughly begins around 6:30 in Bombay at least. So that is definitely beginning of Dwadashi Tithi. And the first part of the Tithi, sometimes according to some calculation, maybe only 2 hours. Once in a year, it is only 2 or 3 minutes. But usually it is 4 hours. मतलब 6:30 से 10:30 रहता है generally Bombay में. 6:23 to 10:23 ऐसा कुछ रहता है हमेशा. So usually it is, good 4 hours, the first part of the Dwadashi Tithi. And we are expected to complete the Ekadashi Tithi as soon as the Dwadashi Tithi starts. So that's like, मेहमान घर पे आए हैं, तो मेहमान घर पे आते समय उनका स्वागत करना चाहिए. वैसे दोपहर को, शाम को, द्वादशी के दिन ग्रेन्स नहीं खाते हैं, शुरुआत में सुबह खाते हैं। एक ग्रेन ले लीजिए अगर भूख नहीं लगी है तो।
That was the perfect example to understand. जो
या
आपने खुद के एग्जाम्पल से दिया, मतलब that was quite easy to understand.
आप लोगों की संगति में मेरा दिमाग चलने लग जाता है।
तो जी एक चीज पूछना था प्रो जी, पारना टाइम में अर्लियर द बेटर, जैसे टाइम है 4 आवर्स का 6:23 to 10:23, तो अर्लियर द बेटर और वी कैन डू इट एनी टाइम बिटवीन 6:22?
नहीं, वो ऑफिशियल अकॉर्डिंग टू स्क्रिप्चर्स टाइम है, एनी टाइम इन दैट टाइम, नॉट नेसेसरी। बट
Right.
अगर आपको तकलीफ है, मतलब सुबह सुबह, अगर डिपेंड्स ऑन योर वर्क टाइमिंग, वंस यू एंटर द ओटी देन यू कैन नॉट डू इट एट 10:30, देन यू कम आउट ऑफ द ओटी एट 12 o'clock, तो एक ग्रेन ले लोगे। हम लोग बोल सकते हैं मुझे 6:30 बजे भूख नहीं लगती है, लाइक ब्रेकफास्ट का समय 8:30 वगैरह, लेकिन 8:30 को मैं ओटी में जाता हूँ, तो मैं 12:30 को बाहर निकलता हूँ, तो क्या करूँ? एक ग्रेन
Right.
ले लीजिए, वो जो प्रॉपर टाइम है उसमें ग्रेन ले लीजिए।
Right.
ग्रेन हो गया आपका, द्वादशी जी का आपने स्वागत कर लिया।
तो bro ji, this is more related to not offending Dwadashi than to offend Ekadashi.
परफेक्ट। द्वादशी जी का स्वागत करना चाहिए। एकादशी का तो स्वागत कर लिया आपने, अभी द्वादशी जी का स्वागत करना चाहिए। ओके, तो नाउ सिद्धार्थ प्रभु क्वेश्चंस अबाउट तुलसी देवी। तो तुलसी देवी के जो लीव्स हैं वो हमेशा से कटर वगैरह से नहीं करने चाहिए, हाथ से ऐसे तोड़ते हैं हम लोग, फिंगर
Yes.
से, नाजुक से। और उस समय उनको मन ही मन में प्रार्थना करते हैं, हे तुलसी देवी, मैं आपको क्यों तोड़ रहा हूँ, आपके पत्ते क्यों तोड़ रहा हूँ? खाने के लिए, दवाई बनाने के लिए नहीं तोड़ रहा हूँ, आपको आपके स्वामी के चरणों में अर्पण करने के लिए तोड़ रहा हूँ। तो कृपया मेरे ऊपर आप गुस्सा मत होना। आपको ऐसा नहीं लगे कि मैं आपको खरोच रहा हूँ, आपको मैं तोड़ रहा हूँ। नहीं, आपको तो बहुत आनंद होता है कि आपके स्वामी श्री कृष्ण भगवान है, उनके चरणों में मैं आपको अर्पण करूँ। तो मैं आपकी सेवा करना चाहता हूँ, आपको आपके स्वामी के चरणों में अर्पण करना चाहता हूँ। आपको आपके स्वामी जो भोग खाते हैं, आपके स्वामी आपके बिना भोग नहीं खाते हैं। तो स्वामी के प्लेट में, कटोरी में आपको डाले बिना आपके स्वामी तो खाना ही नहीं खाते हैं। तो इसलिए उनको सेवा करने के लिए, उनको अच्छा खाना खिलाने के लिए और आपको प्रसन्न करने के लिए मैं आपको तोड़ रहा हूँ। So with this feeling, with this mood, with this prayer, we should pluck Tulsi. Yes,
Prabhuji.
and Tulsi, yes, I also know that in our temple also they don't pluck Tulsi leaves on Dwadashi, and they don't pluck Tulsi on Sunday. So you can also follow that.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So Dwadashi, at least I have very clearly heard, and we should definitely not use scissors and cutters and all that. We should, pluck it with the hands, and that too with the right mood by offering nice prayers.
And Prabhuji, we should water Tulsi ji on Ekadashi also. कि ऐसा है कि Tulsi ji also devotee of the Lord. Is it fast for Tulsi ji also?
I also was told this कि जैसे हम लोग एकादशी करते हैं तो तुलसी जी भी एकादशी करते हैं। तो I never heard this from Prabhupada. That is one thing. And second thing is, she is in a plant body.
Yes, Prabhuji.
जैसे हम लोग समझो निर्जला करेंगे ना, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू एन एग्जांपल, प्लीज डोंट टेक इट पर्सनली। हम अगर निर्जला एकादशी करेंगे और घर के बाहर वरांडे में धूप में अगर दिन भर बैठेंगे,
Yes, Prabhuji.
so then we will understand what it means to nirjala and be there in the sun. So Tulsi Devi, are you keeping her inside in the air conditioned room? कि तुलसी देवी को आप बाहर धूप में रख रहे हैं। तुलसी का शरीर जो है वो हमारे जैसा शरीर नहीं है। तुलसी का शरीर पेड़ का शरीर है,
Yes, Prabhuji.
पौधे का शरीर है कि नहीं? तो पौधे के शरीर के लिए धूप वगैरह में रखते हैं ना हम उनको, नहीं तो तुलसी मुरझा जाती है, तुलसी को अगर धूप में नहीं रखते हैं तो सोचिए, तुलसी का पौधा है जो सूर्य में रख रहे हैं हम लोग, सूर्य प्रकाश में रख रहे हैं, और अगर उसको पानी ही नहीं दिया, दिन भर ऊपर से तपती धूप है और नीचे से पानी ही नहीं है, तो समझो उनको तकलीफ हो गई। तो
Yes, Prabhuji.
so I never heard this. Recently somebody asked me, but I never heard this. So because she is in a plant body, and because she is in a plant body, we keep her in the sun. So if we keep
Yes.
her in the sun, then ऊपर से तो तपती धूप है, तो नीचे से पानी उनको जितना चाहिए पिएंगे, हम पानी उनके लिए उपलब्ध करा दे रहे। जैसे आप अगर निर्जला कर रहे हैं, आपके बगल में अगर माता जी ने पानी का ग्लास रख दिया, तो यू कैन नॉट स्कोल्ड हर सेइंग कि आपने पानी का ग्लास क्यों रखा। शी इज सेइंग आई एम जस्ट
Yes,
कीपिंग
Prabhuji.
इट फॉर यू, इफ यू डोंट वांट टू ड्रिंक इट डोंट ड्रिंक इट।
Yes, Prabhuji. Got it.
So if you're really strong, don't drink it. But why should we chastise anybody who's caring for us and who's bringing a glass of water for us? तो वैसे ही दूसरी देखो हम पानी पी, अगर उनको नहीं पीना है तो नहीं पियेंगे पानी। But because she is in a plant body, we definitely keep her in the sunlight. And keeping her in the sunlight and not giving her water may actually hurt her. Okay, Siddharth Prabhuji.
Yes,
एक
Prabhuji.
क्वेश्चन पूछो।
The Aarti also has one
नहीं
question,
नहीं नहीं
Prabhuji.
आप
Yes. दोनों में से कोई भी पूछ लीजिए।
कि ऊपर ऊपर से जिसमें ब्लैक ब्लैक कीड़े से लग जाते हैं, और फिर जैसे हम
She is
उन्हें
a little bit hesitant. You ask, no problem.
आप बोलिए, आप बोलिए।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा।
प्रभु जी, जैसे तुलसी है, तुलसी के पत्तों पे जैसे ब्लैक ब्लैक छोटे छोटे से कीड़े नहीं हो जाते अलग
हाँ जी,
अलग, तो उनसे वो लीव्स को खाने लगते हैं, वो
हाँ
लीव्स
जी।
खराब होने लगती है। तो जैसे हम उन्हें इतने इतने पत्तों को तोड़ते हैं कि मतलब वो खराब वाले पत्तों को हम हाथ से तोड़ते हैं, तो उनका फिर क्या करना चाहिए, क्योंकि उसे तो हम भोग में भी इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते।
यस, तो क्या करना चाहिए मालूम है, हमको बहुत अच्छी केयर लेनी चाहिए और थोड़ा ध्यान रखना चाहिए। और समझो कभी कभी ऐसा अगर हमारे हम जहाँ रहते हैं वहाँ वातावरण ऐसा है कि जल्दी ये छोटे छोटे काले काले कीड़े लग जाते हैं, तो हमको क्या करना चाहिए, थोड़ा पानी लेना है।
क्योंकि हमारे है ना कंस्ट्रक्शन का काम चल रहा है, तो पेड़ पौधों पे अभी फर्क पड़ता है, अभी डेवलपिंग सोसाइटी है।
राइट राइट। तो पानी लेना है, पानी में गोमूत्र लेना है और थोड़ा नीम का रस लेना है। तो पानी में गोमूत्र और नीम का रस लेते हैं हल्का सा, क्योंकि गोमूत्र एसिडिक रहता है, ज्यादा स्ट्रांग रहेगा तो पत्ते जल जाएंगे। लेकिन थोड़ा सा आप गोमूत्र लीजिए पानी में और उसमें नीम का जूस डालिए और उसको स्प्रे कीजिए। वो ऐसा स्प्रेयर आता है, देखो हैंड स्प्रे आता है, उससे वो पूरे तुलसी के पौधे पे स्प्रे कीजिए, तो ये सारे जो कीड़े हैं ये मर जाएंगे उसमें, वो सहन नहीं कर पाते नीम और गोमूत्र को। और फिर तुलसी जी का कह रहे हैं, लेकिन सही बोल रहे हैं आप कि जो पत्तों में कीड़े लगे हैं वो पत्तों को साफ भी हमने किया, लेकिन अगर वो आधे ऐसे खाए हुए हैं तो उनको हम भोग के प्लेट में नहीं लगा सकते, तो उन पत्तों को हम जमीन में डाल देते हैं उनको।
मतलब उसी पौधे में या फिर
हाँ नहीं, उसी अगल बगल में जो मिट्टी होती है उसी में, है ना।
ठीक है।
बट इंस्टेड ऑफ डूइंग करेक्टिव एक्शन वी शुड डू प्रिवेंटिव एक्शन।
Yes.
ये जो हो गया करेक्टिव हो गया, लेकिन प्रिवेंटिव करना चाहिए कि बीच बीच में थोड़ा ध्यान देना चाहिए। और कम से कम चलो, अगर आप बोल रहे हैं ना कि कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रहा है और बहुत धूल मिट्टी है समझो, तो दिन में एक बार उसको जो सिंपल सादा पानी है उससे स्प्रे करेंगे अगर, तो पूरा ऐसे जैसे नहलाते हैं ना हम, वैसे तुलसी देवी को स्नान कीजिए रोज, तो
वो
उसमें जो
तो
धूल।
प्रभु जी हम डेली करते हैं, जल भी देते हैं और इस स्प्रे भी पूरा करते हैं सुबह मॉर्निंग में।
बढ़िया बढ़िया बढ़िया। तो वो भी एक एक चीज है, अच्छे से उनको साफ रखते हैं तो ये कीड़े नहीं लगते हैं। फिर भी कीड़े लग रहे हैं तो फिर वो नीम और गोमूत्र को मिक्स करके अगर स्प्रे करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा।
Yes.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
थैंक यू।
Ruchi, very nice and informative session. And one thing I want to share is, Ruchi, every time I hear from devotees, I understand what we have received. That is so difficult to go into so much technical detail and to understand which is Mahadwadashi, but we get so much, we get served so easily by our parampara, by Prabhupada, that we get information that tomorrow we have to do Ekadashi. We don't have to calculate which is the best day for doing Ekadashi, and we get all the benefits if we are in the right mood while doing that Ekadashi.
बस प्रभुपाद जी ने सब अरेंजमेंट करके रखा है आपको भगवत धाम जाने के लिए, केवल एक चीज करना है, प्रभुपाद जी ने जो दिया है उसमें कुछ फॉल्ट मत निकालना।
Right, Prabhuji.
उतना बस मुंह को ताला लगाएंगे तो भी भगवत धाम जाएंगे हम लोग।
बराबर है।
तो बस इतना ही करना है। So Prabhupada said, whatever I have given to you, just accept it, and if possible, share it with others. That is sufficient for you.
Right.
चलिए, थैंक यू वेरी मच।